kia ora ana. This is my little love note to uh, the generators out there. So, welcome, no mai haere mai. I'm going to run through what makes a generator, as this first little love note, and share some of what came up when I was, connecting to the generator energy, and just a little keynote that came out. But first, I'm going to run through why I've got this diagram up. Sorry, this body graph, and it actually belongs to a sister of mine who is a generator, and um, I'm going to be showing you what makes a generator. So I want to, point to some of the centers and some of the numbers and colors that are going on here. But it also helps me to ground my conversation and what I'm speaking about, because I'm not just speaking about a random bunch of shapes and numbers. This is actually the energetic makeup of one of my sisters who is very dear to me. So, what makes a generator a generator? This center here, okay? The center is called the sacral, and it's where worlds are birthed. It is it contains the energy that creates worlds, that creates, that gets it done, right? Any idea, this is the energy that sees it through and carries it through to completion. All of the energy that has created our world has come from sacral beings. Generators build our world. Okay, now there are two types of generators. This video is about the pure generator, the generator who has a sacral center, and there is the manifesting generator, who I'll make a separate video for. But what makes a generator, just a pure generator, a generator? There is the sacral center that is defined. There is defined meaning there's energy pulsing through there at all times. It's consistent energy. However, there's no clear pathway up to the throat. I said this when I was making previous videos for the manifester, that all roads are trying to lead to the throat, because the throat, the center here, the throat is where our creations come into form. It's about manifesting now the ideas, the hard work that's been put in, and it's been created. So the root, there's a pressure center at the base of our spine. The root pushes energy up, and it's trying to come out the throat. And then up the top here, we've got the head, and the pressure is being pushed down to make it to the throat. Okay, so all the ideas to pass through the mind, and logic, and to come out the throat. So with pure generators, they have all this energy to work on what they are lit up on, what lights them up, what they love. That is what they've got energy to work on. Okay, and now because they don't have this connection, they don't have a motor up to the throat. It requires them to wait, to respond to the right kinds of things to work on, in the right environments, so that they can team up with, the right people and resources that will see it through and carry it up through to manifestation. All right. So with this all being said, I want to share the keynote that came through when I was connecting to the generator energy. And it is, get lit up. Get lit up for what you're doing, or leave it. Get lit up. I just before I made this video, I thought of a story to share, and it was, I was in Kmart with my sister who's a generator, and she tried on these pair of slippers, and she put them on her feet, and she was just like lit up. She was like lit up. And I was like, those are interesting slippers. However, the litness in her body was undeniable. Then I purchased a pair of, like, I chose a pair of slippers and I was like, these are practical, this, that, like, I like these suit my style. And then she looked at the same kind of slipper in a different color and she tried them on and she was like, yep, these work. But, like, yep, these are cool. However, I didn't see the litness that was in her eye when she put on that other pair. So I meant to tell her that story, by the way. It just happened recently. But and I was in two minds after I thought about it to take her back to go and get that pair of slippers that, like, made her light up. And we still might do that. You know, this is not about choosing pairs of slippers, right? This is about big life decisions. But this is about getting in the, I tell that story about, because it's about getting in the habit of doing what lights you the fuck up, right? Get lit up for what you're doing and start to recognize. And as a projector, I have the ability to recognize and to see, deeply into the other. And, it was just a pair of slippers, but I saw the litness, we're going to make that a word, the litness of my sister when she put on those fluffy looking slippers, right? Like it was just night and day. So I recognize and pay attention to what lights you up and follow that, right? There is a difference between using the energy that you have pulsing through your body for the sake of just doing work and when you're doing aligned work. Now, just like I acknowledge with the manifestors, we have lived lives, years of our lives, doing what works, doing stuff for just doing because it's, it puts food on the table, it pays the bills, it's what's got to be done. And I know if I've worked with a few generators to recognize the difference that when y'all are not enjoying what you do, it's not pretty. Yeah. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's, yeah. So my love note to you is just start paying attention to when you're doing things that light you up and notice the difference between doing things that don't light you up. And just notice the difference of anything. That's all. No big leaps, no backflips. Just noticing the difference between what that pair of slippers, looks and feels like, and then when logic enters the conversation and, you make decisions from that place. Human design is about, returning the decision making ability back to our body, to let our body guide us, and to see the patterns of how our body is guiding us in this lifetime. It's about living aligned with the wisdom that is coming from our body, which is a deeper wisdom than the mind will ever have, right? The mind is here to keep us safe, right? Logic is here to keep us safe, keep it all efficient, safe, secure, solid. But our soul came here for a mission and to work on things that matter. Yeah? Now, I don't give it, this just popped in. I don't give a shit what you do, right? What you do. The what is not important. What is important is, does it light you up? Does it light you up? Do you love it? Or are you dragging your heels? Are you dragging your lip? Are you severely unhappy in what you're doing? If so, just start noticing the difference between what lights you up and, when you're lit up and when you're not. So that is my love letter to you. And a final parting gift would be, okay, so if I'm not lit up and I need to choose some things that I some new things. What to do? What should I do? The only type that doesn't have to wait for nothing really, except for that urge and surge to come through them, is a manifester. Every single other type has an element of waiting. For the generator, wait to respond. Do more of what you love, right? But wait until someone says, you know, do you want to start a business, or do you want to do that? Or like, you know, like wait until you've got something to latch onto, right? To respond to. Yes, no. Do you want to start a business with me? Yes, no. Do you want to come on this trip with me? Yes, no. Do you want to come to this event with me? Yes, no. Do you want to sing this song with me? Yes, no. Right? What generators often do is they get into that frustration and then start initiating things. That is not the role of a generator. That's the role of a manifester. So, um, you know, generators, you have beautiful amounts of energy to create when you're in response. Okay? So it's like a telephone. The telephone will ring, you pick it up, hello. Do you want to come to dinner with me? Yes, no. Yeah? Don't go out when you want something and be like, do you want to come to dinner with me? Do you want to come to dinner with me? Do you want to come to dinner with me? Like, wait till people call your phone. Yeah? Respond. Kia ora.